Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the NS9 Postgame Show. I'm your host, Anthony DiNardo. With me, we have Neil. What's going on, Neil? We have a Pirates victory to talk about tonight.
We do. There's been a lot of them recently.
There has been, hasn't there?
Nice change of pace.
It's pleasant. I'll tell you what, especially for being the end of the season now since September. These postgame shows have been rather pleasant themselves too.
Yeah, usually it's a bit of a slog at the end of the season. Like, can we please get the season over with? But they've made August and
You weren't
September a
here
lot more
last year.
enjoyable. I mean,
You
I
can't
don't.
speak on last year, September too.
As someone who watched almost all those games, I think I can speak on them. Like,
That's
I wasn't
fair.
on the show, but I was the sicko who was watching.
But at least you got to turn off the game and then forget about it. You didn't have
It's
to
true.
relive it again for the 30 minutes. But no, honestly, the Pirates win tonight. They beat the Nationals 5-1. Actually, I mean, a good game. There was good pitching. There was good defense. There was good hitting. Walks, hits everywhere. I mean, just offense was abundant. Like, it's only 5 runs, but offense was still pretty abundant. It's a good game to see.
Yeah, I'll push back a little bit on the offense because when you strand that many runners and you hit that poorly of runners in scoring position, like it usually bad stuff happens. But no, we had some good stuff happen today, and I think especially the pitching and the defense part was the real star of the show.
Yeah, that's totally fair. It's not often you get to speak and talk highly and praise the Pirates. So I was trying to go a little bit that route, but that's fine. Bring us back to reality. Talk about the men in scoring position. I get it. Yes, that happened quite a bit. I also understand that. But like we're talking about, I mean, the Pirates did have 11 hits, 10 walks, right?
Yeah.
21 base runners, and they only scored 5 runs. Like, I get that. But the Pirates won 5-1.
But it's still a Pirates win. I don't want to take away from that. There was definitely at one point in the game where it's like, oh, we're going to lose like 3-2 because we keep stranding everyone, and we didn't. We kept grinding, and the pitching was completely dominant today. Which, if you told me that Ryan Baracki and Bailey Falter were being lockdown pitchers for us in 2023, I would have called you a liar.
I would have called you worse. But you're right. And that's the thing.
Criminally insane.
Falter pitched well today. Falter goes 6 full innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk. I mean, it was a solid performance by him. Slider, curveball heavy, had the 4-seamer a little bit. I don't know how to label him other than like he's performed.
Yeah.
He's performed since being with the Pirates.
He has. It's hard to gauge just because you don't know how many innings you can really realistically expect from him. Because like he'll have days like this where he'll go 6 and other days where he'll go 3 2/3, and he's kind of like an Andre Jackson style appearance. But no, I think his ERA is like solidly in 3.5 range since joining the Pirates. And he's giving us innings, and he is playing for a rotation spot. Like, it is wide open next year. Like, we have there is no competition for that 5th spot at the moment, but he is he's putting himself out there as like a viable back end of a rotation guy. I don't know if he's anything more than that. I don't think the stuff is good enough for that, but like he's been pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. Talking about his pitch mix today. I mean, we know he has his limitations on that fastball, if you want to call it fastball, maybe ironically a fastball. It's a ball that goes over the plate most of the time. Yeah, I mean, he was averaging 90.5 on it today. But again, we know that's pretty much where he is. Yes, the extension, I get it, but I mean, no swing and misses on it at all. The slider and curveball look pretty good. There was some swing and miss there. The other thing about this too, I mean, you don't want to knock people, right? But like, this is a pretty bad Nationals offense.
Yeah,
it is what it is. Like, it's a bad offense, but I mean, hey, this is the team that scored a bunch of runs on the Pirates yesterday. So, and with that said, they were able to go ahead and capitalize today. Pirates scored some runs, they shut them down. But yeah, I mean, Falter, he did his job today, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if I'm quite intrigued by Falter, right, in his stuff, but he has gotten the job done since being a Pirate.
I would say that he has done enough as a Pirate to consider me intrigued. I just there's honestly like a bit of calm when he takes them out, and like he'll go up his runs. Like I think his outing against the Cubs is pretty bad, but like there's never really been a whole lot of situations where Bailey Falter's been on the mound and I've been like terrified, and I can't say that for a lot of Pirates pitchers this year.
That's fair.
And
I'm actually looking up him right now, like you mentioned with those, because you're right. There hasn't been too many outings where he's blown up, but at the same sense, there hasn't been a whole lot of outings where he's gone too deep into the game either. Like if that makes sense. Like it's like Andre Jackson effect. Like Andre Jackson looks great for 2-3 innings, but he put up there for 6, and you're thinking, okay, well, he's not a starter. And I feel like Falter kind of borderline that. I mean, I know he goes farther than Andre Jackson, but I'm just trying to look up here. But at any rate, I mean, today he did go 6 and pitched very effective.
And like that's the weird thing is like I don't know why Bailey Falter doesn't go further in other games. Like I don't pretend to be like an expert. I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know how they're managing his pitch limit, but like it seems like he can handle 6 innings like around that 90 pitch range like pretty consistently, but we seem pretty hesitant to let him do that.
And that happened today. Like he did go 6, but it was also only 67 pitches. Like first off, super efficient.
Yeah.
But to your point, you could see him maybe going more than 6 innings, like in this outing. He only took 67 pitches to get through full 6 innings.
Yeah.
But yeah, like looking at his previous starts, with the Pirates, he's only gone over 5 innings. This is now his 3rd time. We have 4, 4, 5, 1, 6, 4, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, and then today's 6. So, and he's been pretty efficient most of the times beforehand as well. But that's kind of what you get when you have a guy that throws strikes. So, like, I'll give him credit for that. Like, he does throw strikes. But yeah, like that's a good point too. Like when you're in this situation, the Pirates have been using like this opener and Falter coming in to continue the game. He's like the pseudo starter in that sense, but like he's not really giving this team innings, and that's why I'm also kind of hesitant as well.
Yeah.
Because, if you're only going through the lineup maybe twice, I don't know how intrigued I can be with the limitations you have, like how effective you really are as a starter. So that's why I'm kind of hesitant to really push my chips in on Bailey Falter.
Yeah.
But again, like so far to date, like I don't have really any complaints about him.
Yeah.
He's pitched effective and he's helped this Pirates team win games, which we talked when we opened this show that they're doing. They're winning baseball games.
They are winning, but yeah, I mean, like, I guess, like, and I think I've said this before, but like, I really don't hate the idea of using him like as a piggybacker with like an Andre Jackson or Thomas Hatch, like as like an actual rotation piece. However, you want to carve that up, like because even if you only want Andre Jackson going 2 innings or Thomas Hatch only going 2 innings, and Bailey Falter gives you that 4 or 5, like that gets you through the majority of a game every 5 days, and it's not the best way of doing it. It's not the most efficient, but like considering we're a team that only employs 2 starters right now, and we're not going to spend big on starting pitching next year in the offseason, even though we did have someone in person to see Yamamoto's no hitter, I think it's not a bad way to go compared to other options.
Yeah. I mean, I agree to the extent of like, I am intrigued, the word, chat's going to love it, by Andre Jackson. But again, I'm not in the sense of like he is a starting pitcher. I'm intrigued the fact that I think he's a major leaguer and he could be like an effective reliever or like this role you're talking of, and so like if you're using this one time in the rotation, maybe not the end of the world, but like we don't need 3 of them. That's kind of the issue right now.
I agree with that.
But at any rate.
Yeah, I mean, like Andre Jackson's the best of like those like middle relief guys, I think.
Yeah.
And I think it really shows whenever they try to make Andre Jackson go more than 2 or 3 innings, just how unsuited he is to be a starter.
Right.
But
so like if you're going that route with Falter and such, I don't hate it. But at any rate, and again, like today is giving you those reasons why you might be interested or intrigued or, curious for what he is for next year. 67 pitches, 6 innings, 1-run game. Falter did a great job today helping the Bucks win.
Mhm.
So like as far as pitching goes, outstanding job by Falta today against the Nationals. And like honestly, the rest of the bullpen did their job as well. I mean, Carmen
Yeah.
Mlodzinski comes in. Not the best outing from him, but again, doing his job.
He
I mean, no
got
earned runs from
bailed out
anyone.
by the best worst baseball player you've ever seen on the planet.
Maybe. But and then Halderman comes in, does the job. Baraki comes in, does the job. Like you said, Baraki and Falter. Who would think at September of 23, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But I don't like Ryan Baraki. I hated that addition when it happened. What are you doing? And then they called him up, and I said, "What are you doing?" And here he is, 2.97 ERA on the season. Ryan Baraki, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, the slider spam is just ridiculous. Like it kind of defies rationale just how effective he's been considering his past.
Yes.
Like last year he was
his very
unplayable.
near past.
Yeah, like last year he was just so bad, and now
this year he was so bad.
Yeah. I guess is it just 2.97 ERA includes his before his Pirates stint?
Yes, that is for the season.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, he's been pretty locked down, and I can't believe I'm saying that because I hated it too. I did not want Ryan Baraki anywhere near this team, and I also didn't want Angel Perdomo anywhere near this team. So maybe Oscar Marin's talent is just fixing washed up left-handed relievers.
It could be, and we discussed that a little bit. That's why, like, I'm giving them a little more rope on some things, like with the Jacksons and the Hatches and such, with the Bruckies, because there has been some success with these guys that you fellows cast offs. By the way, just kind of interject, he actually has only pitched for the Pirates in the majors this year.
Oh, darn.
His time with the Cubs was all minor leagues when it was talked terrible. So that 2.97 also is with the Pirates. But yeah, that's why I'm giving a little bit of rope because again, like these guys have been pretty decent when they came over when you thought there was really nothing to them. Brucky probably being like the main person of that. But
yeah,
again, like he came in, did his job. If you're talking about any of these guys, as far as next year, I mean, Brucky has absolutely earned his opportunity to be in the bullpen next year, especially as a lefty. Regardless of being a lefty, he's earned it. Any army throws it out.
And it's a long way. I think I said this before, but like it's a long way coming since the beginning of the year when we had one lefty on the 40-man, and he was a Rule 5 pick. So
because the other lefty apparently exists, we just don't know where Carlene Garcia is.
Hey, he can grip a baseball now. We're making process.
Great, just in time for the offseason. But you're right, and so that's a big part. Like the one thing not the one thing, but like certainly is something I've pounded the table on this year is like you look at the Orioles and how they found success. I mean, of course they've had talent out of the ass coming up to the minors to get there, right? But like what they've done a really, really, really good job at, and you look at last year, how you can kind of put a team together but solidify it to the next level is they've built a really good bullpen that came from virtually nothing. Pieced it all together by DFA's waiver. So maybe the Pirates are on to that. And again, we know it's not happening this year, but like if next year they're going to model some sort of like 2022 Orioles run, this bullpen is going to be a big piece of that. And as we keep talking time and time again, you're starting to squint and see a bit of that.
Yeah.
So I mean, again, the guys we talked about today with Baraki and Halderman and Mlodzinski, they looked good today, and they've been looking pretty decent all year.
Yeah, and something about the Pirates, like when they were actually good, like in the playoff years, like the offense never really lit the world on fire. Like it was a competent offense, but like what really carried us is the fact that once the game hit the 7th inning, it was over.
Yeah,
if the Pirates were leading in the 7th inning, you weren't winning the game. The bullpen was that good. And, when you start seeing Halderman come out of his shell and Bednar's Bednar, you can start piecing together your 7th, 8th, and 9th inning guys. And that would be huge because that really steals you some wins that you really don't deserve. But something the Pirates desperately need if they want to be good.
Yeah, for sure. So pitching looked good. Let's get to the offense here because again, the offense, there's a lot of it. Again, we know the scoring wasn't all the way there.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of offense, hits everywhere, walks everywhere. I mean, it broke. The first inning went by, very efficient again, pitching both sides. But it breaks open the second inning. Andy Rodriguez walks, and then lo and behold, Joshua Palacios comes up the bat, hits a monster home run, breaks open the scoring, 2-0 Pirates, all thanks to Joshua Palacios. And man, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it goes 410, 107.5 off the bat. We know he has raw power. I don't know if I need to go, we keep pounding this, but it's like Joshua Palacios makes you talk every time he's on the field.
Yeah.
He might be the most interesting player there is.
Yeah, like it makes no sense because like the guy's not a very good fielder. He's not particularly fast. He doesn't look impressive at the plate 90% of the time. And then he just pulls stuff like this out of thin air. Like, he is. I have no idea what to make of him. Because, like, you see stuff like this. Like you said, the raw power is there. And he is a fun player. You don't know how rosterable he really is, though, unless, like, you see him as, like, a fourth outfielder next year.
I also don't want any of this slander about him not being a good defender because did you not see that outfield assist at home also?
I mean, yes, I did.
That's why he's so interesting for all the reasons, because you are correct. We've seen that defense in the outfield and how poor it looks. And then he goes off and does something like that today. I mean, today was just one of those games where Joshua Palacios was amazing.
Yeah.
Joshua Palacios had 2 hits today, right? He went 2 for
2 for
4 with a walk. That home run, outfield assisted home. I mean, the dude is a baller until he sometimes is the complete opposite.
When he is on, he is the best player on the field. When he is off, you wonder how he made his way to a major league roster. It's fascinating.
This might be the best way to put it.
Yeah.
As Mark even said, Jim says he's the most electric bad baseball player I've ever watched. And that's the way to define him. Like, again, I feel like we hate on him so much when he does well, but it's like you want to put it in like perspective. But there's coming to a point where like I'm kind of tired of putting in perspective because he keeps doing this to us. But like he's not a good baseball player, but yet he is electrifying. Like he does some really good things on some really big spots and has some electrifying moments. And like that's what Josh Palacios is, and that's why he's like so polarizing. I don't know.
The anti-Sawinski almost.
I guess.
Yeah, because like Sawinski has the raw numbers like Joshua Palacios doesn't. But like I don't know, I feel like you see a lot more clutch hitting from a Palacios than you do with Jack Sawinski.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like you love the dude. He seems like an awesome guy. He's the guy you're going to pull for. Yeah,
like he's like the main protagonist of like that underdog movie story.
Yeah, absolutely.
This unheard of guy getting a second chance in the big leagues, and he's just coming up and hitting these bombs in clutch situations. And
right, he is that guy, and you want to root for him. And he's funny, he has these moments, but then like once it comes time to fill out your roster for the postseason, and you see him on there, you're thinking, "Oh man, what are you doing?" That's what we're talking about. Like, no, we're trying to win the game. Don't roster Palacios. There's other guys that are good and better. But at any rate, again, to get back to this, like he opens the scoring. There's the home run, and like I'm not going to say it pours because again, the runs were seldom, but the offense again like just kind of took off. I mean, hits around. You look at the lineup overall. Again, they had 11 hits. Hayes continued his hot streak. He had 2 hits today. Sawinski
had 2 hits.
2 hits, 2 walks today. Jackie Sawinski,
yeah,
2 for 3 with 2 walks. Andy Rodriguez 2 for 4. He had some big hits and a walk. And then as mentioned, Palacios 2 hits as well with a walk. So a lot of guys getting multiple hits, getting on base multiple times. I mean, really the only people that didn't get hits today was Brian Reynolds, though he did get 2 walks. And
Connor Joe.
Yeah, Connor Joe, who also got a walk. So
I-
everybody got on base though.
I think the broadcast said Connor Joe had left like 9 guys on base today. It is what it is. We won, but yeah, no, it was the offense was good, but also bad. Like, I feel like
It
this,
was the
I
most electrifying bad offense we've ever
there
seen.
we go.
Let's re-quote Jim on that.
But I think this kind of solidifies because I was seeing it going around how like people think walks are as good as a hit. I think this game kind of chucks that out the window. You know what I mean? Like, cause like we were walking with runners in scoring position. We were walking all the day long, but then as soon as it came to hit, like I think most of our runs came off of like ground outs and sacrifice flies. Besides the home run.
Me, Neil.
Not that we're calling anyone specifically out in the Discord or anything, but
yeah, not that I was getting all kinds of hate on Twitter for saying this, but you're right. Again, like this isn't hating on the walk, but like this is why hitting the ball is still very important because you leave all these guys on base when you can't simply do that. Like you have to have some type of contact made. You have to be able to hit the baseball. There is situational hitting. Like you can't have bases loaded up there and just stand at the plate hoping for a walk.
Yeah, no, I agree. And you know, I don't necessarily they were looking for walks. I just think that when was the last time you saw 4 intentional walks in a game from one team?
Okay, a long time. Now think, when's the last time you saw it against the Pirates?
Yeah, right. We're going back to the 1950s, probably.
Right.
I actually do think the recent radio said I think it happened once in the 90s, like on the Bonds teams, and I think that makes a lot of sense.
Okay, I could see that. Again, we're talking about the 90s and a Bonds team.
Yeah.
Not a Joshua Palacios team.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, Joshua Palacios might as well be the next Barry Bonds.
Right.
But yeah, no,
just a late bloomer.
No, overall really nice. Like, Hayes, 2 hits, Sawinski has been pretty consistent over the past week or 2.
He has. I would say it's creeping to the 2-week part.
How long ago was that Royals game where he like hit the should have been home run, but it was like a literal inch away? Like ever since then, he's been pretty decent.
That would have been the first series before the Cardinals, so it would have been either 2 weeks or like a week and 6 days ago. So yeah, so it's creeping up to like the 2-week spot.
Yeah, and he's slowly trying to claim the best OPS in the team again. Like that's slowly climbing up. Reynolds' OPS is climbing up. Hayes is climbing up. Like you are seeing like it's pretty sizable improvements from a decent amount of the roster, I'd say, in terms of hitting.
Absolutely. I'm taking my words back. That was my biggest frustration with this team is like the year-over-year improvement. That's why I kept kind of looking, record-wise, like where this team stacks up to last year. And, the one point they were like the same record at that point in time, or 1 game more. And the biggest thing and takeaway was the guys that have been on this team. Like we're not talking about the rookies coming up. We're talking about the Sawinskis and the Reynolds and the Hayes and stuff. Like there was so much regression from them, and that was worrisome. Yeah. Like especially heading into 2024, the guys that you're depending on that are here are regressing. That's kind of a problem. And then it just like that just changed. And we saw Hayes just take off and be dominant. I mean, he's playing MVP type level of baseball. Yeah. Reynolds is really taking off, and like now you're seeing Sawinski again for these past few weeks start performing better. So like I would love to see more consistency out of it. Like I'd like to see Sawinski finish the season doing this. But you're right. It's very pleasant to see the guys who are here that you're depending on to get you wins this year doing what they need to do.
And I think I'm a little worried just in terms of like the ceiling that these guys can hit, because I think there's a noticeable improvement in terms of like, how many games we're in. And I think the lineup has a lot to do with that, guys improving. I don't know how much you can depend on them to improve more than they're already at, though, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Where like if you roll into next year with a pretty similar lineup, I don't know how you win more than 82 games. And ideally, you're trying to make the playoffs next year, and 82 isn't going to cut it even in this terrible division.
Right.
But it's a start. Considering where we were.
Part, like, I think that's true, but you can probably expect more from Henry Davis. You can expect more from Indy. I do think there's more to be desired from the rookies, because for the most part, they've all struggled.
Yeah.
They've all struggled this year, every single one of them. And again, like, that's even with his winning, it's not really coming from the young guys. Like, the Pirates aren't truly winning because they've caught up the young players and they're helping this team. Like, they're struggling.
Mm-hmm.
It's really the vets who are coming together and performing well. And then the young guys just being a little bit better than the terribles that were here, like, Austin Hedges. But I digress. But yeah, I could definitely see some improvement from them. And I mean, they're hitting the rookie struggles. Like, this is kind of expected. This is kind of why you want the rookies to come up a little bit earlier, so they get those struggles out the way, and they're hitting their stride the second half of the season. But again, I digress.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I guess, like, you will see improvement. Like, I don't think Leo Piguero is going to continue to strike out that much. Henry Davis, I think, really just need to get comfortable playing right field and then handle major league sliders. Like, Endy still provides good defensive value as a catcher, so I think you can be, like, more patient with that bat as he develops. But yeah, I guess, like, for me, I don't know if I look at any of these rookies and I think star. You know what I mean? And the Pirates, as it currently stands, still need, like, that star player, someone you can always turn to and be reliant on. Not to say like a new McCutchen, because I don't think anyone's going to replace Kutch, but like, someone like that, because Reynolds is good. He's not a superstar. Okay, Brian Hayes is good. He's not a superstar. We need, like, just one of these guys. Listen, if Brian Hayes is hitting like he is all of next year, then he's a superstar. But until then, I think we just need some more star power.
No, that's absolutely fair. Absolutely fair. So it's been solved, though.
Yeah, solid. Intriguing, even.
No, not solid. It's been solved.
Oh, solved. Yes.
Miguel Andujar has a 745 OPS right now. Miguel Andujar went 1-4 today with a walk. Miguel Andujar is the answer.
My bad.
Okay.
I'm actually like very upset that he's doing well, like even moderately well, because if he keeps playing like this for the rest of the year, he's going to be brought back. He's not worth keeping around for any reason.
It's funny you say that, and I don't want to go in like a whole Andujar tangent, but I'm fine being wrong. I've been wrong. Like, I have my opinions on things, right? Comes with a reason I say, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I would rather the player be good and me be wrong, right, than me be right and they're bad.
100%.
But I feel like I'm deeply rooted in my opinion about Andujar that he's bad. And it's not so much that I don't like, I'm mad about this because I don't want to be wrong. It's the same thing like last year we talked, like, we were fearful last year when he came on for like the last 9 games that, like, for 9 games he's going to tear it up and they're going to say he's the answer for first base. Now, luckily they didn't. I mean, they did sign him, but they didn't keep it at that. It's like the same feeling again. Like, he's brought up at the end of the year, and it's like, if he performs, are they going to be tricked? Are the Pirates going to be tricked into Miguel Andujar and say, we have solved our position for next year with Miguel Andujar, and then he does Miguel Andujar things and stings. So, like, that's part of it. I feel you there. Like, in a way, I don't, because I feel like it's going to pay off in a bad way for the Pirates.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I will never I never actively want the Pirates to lose. I want all the Pirates players to be very good. And listen, if Miguel Andujar suddenly finds like his renaissance next season, 5 years after the last time he's been even a MLB player, you know what?
We'll be
good for Ben. Great for Ben Sherrington for fixing him and getting us an MLB caliber player. But I do know this: the Pirates do not spend a lot of money. And so they're probably looking for market inefficiencies. And so if they think, oh, we've seen from Miguel Andujar the last 3 weeks of the season, that's a good enough fourth or third outfielder. We don't need to spend any money there. I feel like that's really going to come to bite us next season.
Right.
Yeah. Because then, like the first base market's so bad, you're probably looking at putting him at first base. Using him as a fourth. I just don't think he has a place on this roster, which is crazy because the roster's not that good.
Yep. But at any rate, hey, he has, again, like I say many times, like credit where credit's due.
Yeah.
He has been performing lately. As ugly as his swing looks and as terrible as the pitch is that he ends up making contact with, he has been performing. Like I jokingly said in the Discord, I was like, he is Vlad Sr. if Vlad Sr. was bad at baseball. Because like you see the pitches and you're like, how did he hit that?
You're the only person on earth who's compared Miguel Andujar to Vladimir Guerrero.
There it is. That's what you get from this. Vlad Sr. and Miguel Andujar, they're the same player. But yeah.
Carbon copy. But yeah, no, very happy. I am happy that he's helping the Pirates win baseball games. And I'm sure he's a very nice dude. And if he gets a career again, awesome. I don't really think it's going to happen, though.
Yep. So, at any rate, Pirates play. It was a fun game. Pirates will play again tomorrow. So far, the series is split. They got 2 more. So, tomorrow won't decide the series, per se. But, yeah, it was nice. It seemed as if today was like the opposite of yesterday. Yesterday, the Nationals took advantage of the Pirates' bad pitching efforts. Today, the Pirates took advantage of the Nationals' bad pitching efforts. Capitalized 5-1 victory.
Very nice.
There you go. Pirates 67 and 78. So like they're 3 wins away from 70 wins right now.
Woohoo!
Come on, Neil. Find the small victory.
The bar is so low. Yeah, no, it has been a sizable improvement this year.
Yeah.
Nice relaxing wins in September don't come by us very often. So, well,
very fair.
Can't wait to talk about
Kenny
the loss.
does state, though, Mackey states that Selby will be the opener for tomorrow. And Quinn Priester, who was added to the taxi squad today, will be the bulk-hitting guy, however you want to call it.
Well,
so nice seeing Quinn back. He's improved a bit, though more two-seamer, a little more velocity. So he'll definitely be something to be intrigued on. See what he looks like back in the MLB.
Yep. And I will be on tomorrow to discuss the 9-5 loss.
Stop it. But that's right. You will be on. So you'll be on tomorrow with Cody, correct?
With Jim, I believe. Cody's got Thursday.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Thursday's a day game. Yeah.
Because I can't do day games anymore. I have to work.
That's right. So there it is. So yeah, tomorrow you and Jim will be on talking about.
Oh no, it's Doug. I'm sorry, Doug. It's Doug.
Oh, okay. Oh well, Doug's on. That's definitely a win.
Oh wait, never mind. No, yeah, that's right. The Neil Doug combination would have us win 95 games a year.
There you go. Book it for all the bettors. No financial advice. I'm just saying. We see who's in the post game tomorrow. All right, let's get out of here. This is going off the rails. Appreciate everyone for watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Hey, you all. Thank you for watching. I know we try to provide the most entertaining content that we can, and we'd love to spread it to as many people as possible. So I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you could take the 5 seconds to like this video and subscribe to the page, it helps out so much more than you know. Thank you, and let's go Bucks.